I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're exploring the profound journey of self-discovery with Gilda Goudarzi. She has written an amazing book. It is called Generational Ignorance, Unveiling the Essence of Being. In the book, she integrates her expertise in gestalt therapy and her deep Sufi spiritual insights to guide readers towards holistic well-being. Join us right now as we delve into how her teachings can transform parenting and leave a lasting legacy for future generations. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Gilda, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you. My pleasure to be here.
Tell the folks at home what gestalt therapy is. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that term.
Gestalt therapy is a therapy that is based on here and now, the present moment, and what is going on with you right now, instead of going to the past or the future.
Exactly. We only have control over what's happening right now. We have no control over the past. We might be able to influence the future depending on what we do right now. So Gestalt therapy is a very important tool. Tell us a little bit about generational ignorance, what you mean by that.
Well, by that, I'm referring to our lack of knowledge about who we are as this human species and our spiritual nature and our potential, and also our lack of knowledge about our role as parents. We're actually shaping future adults and therefore this world, and it's been completely overlooked.
It's the most important job any one of us are blessed to have, and that's raising a child and being a parent. And like you said,
Exactly.
sometimes there's not enough thought or energy or effort put into it. Give the folks at home an overview of what your book is about.
Well, it covers a lot of different sections, a lot of different topics, but it's basically about how we can have a better world. And that's what that's what I bring in spirituality, and how by becoming spiritual and having more knowledge about our effect on our kids, we can create a better world and hopefully save our precious species. What I talk about is, how the importance of spirituality in our lives. And we are this spiritual being, but we solely rely on our mind in order to navigate our lives. But our mind, as powerful as it is, it's very limited in perceiving this world. And but once we connect to our higher source or God or universe or whatever you're comfortable calling it, then we can go beyond that limitation of our mind and our ego, and let the wisdom of our heart guide us, which is really the divine guidance. And then once we do that, we realize that it's really all about love. And we give this love to the creation by bringing joy to their hearts. And that's one way to affect this world. And the other way is by our parenting and being aware of our parenting style.
Yeah.
And,
It's said that the most real things in this world, the greatest things in this world, can neither be seen nor heard, but only touched by the heart. And I think that's very, very true. And I think your book points to that as well. Tell us how readers can start to unveil their true essence through the practices that you describe in the book.
how they can use the practices?
Use the
Well,
practices, yes, to get to their true essence, their true being, to be more enlightened spiritually.
well, I can talk about a little bit about Sufism, which is a spiritual path, of course. It's very mysterious and it's very deep and profound, and I can only simplify some aspects of it, which is my take on it.
Yeah.
But it's the goal is to put ourselves aside and become one with the divine. But there are some practices that is suggested by Sufism. The one is that we serve other people. We're kind to other people and we serve them, and that makes us forget about ourselves in a way, and also be in the moment. Because being in the past or future is really the basis of insanity, really.
Mm-hmm.
And be aware of your connection with God or the universe with every breath at every moment.
Mm.
So these are the ways that, the practices that we can do in order to feel our connection, with our higher source.
Yeah. How do you propose people disconnect from their past traumas or live too much in the future, that tomorrow I'm going to do this, next year I'm going to do that? How do you feel that people can get more centered in the moment?
Well, there are a lot of ways. There are meditations, and there are a lot of different techniques of meditation, like mindfulness and other practices of meditation. But again, also once we are aware of our breath and every moment and our connection to the divine, that helps us bring us to the moment and that present time. But it's really important for us to heal ourselves, for one thing, because we have a lot of issues from our childhood that they need to be addressed, because they do get triggered at every moment. And because once we have unresolved emotions, we store them in our body, and the conscious mind may not remember it, but they're there, and they do get triggered once we experience something similar. They get triggered, and then that's why sometimes we have unproportional reactions to the situation that we're in. So it's extremely important to do look at our issues, and there are a lot of ways, like there are flower essences, there are EFT, there is again, all kinds of therapy. There is muscle testing, all kinds of techniques that we can access those unresolved emotions, and they can actually be be released. And this is what I have gone through. I mean, I experienced a lot of challenging circumstances in my life. Then I really hit the bottom, and I had to heal myself in order to come back up. And that's how I came across a lot of my findings that I mentioned in the book.
Absolutely. How do you envision the book helping parents who are looking to guide their children in a better way?
I'm sorry, could you say that
How
again?
do you envision your book helping parents become better parents and guide their children to be better adults, happier adults, well-adjusted adults?
Well, for one thing, I've come up with the general guidelines for parents, how to interact with kids and our impact on them. And by bringing spirituality to our world and beginning to heal ourselves, we can understand the impact of our actions and interactions with our kids, and we can be more aware of the role that we play, and create a more supportive environment for them, for their emotional development, really. So we
Yeah.
need to educate ourselves. We need to heal ourselves. We need to bring spirituality to our world and connect with our spirituality, and hopefully pass on these values of love and compassion and kindness. We pass it on to our kids, and actually empower them to, to rise above all this negativity in the world and end all this violence, hurt, and conflict that is going on, and hopefully, help help humanity really. And as parents, we make a lot of mistakes, and when I look at my mistakes with my kids, I realize that I didn't know any better. And I can trace back my shortcomings to my own childhood and my parents and their mistakes. And but I can't blame them either, because they too were raised by parents who didn't know any better. And that's why I call it generational ignorance. And it's a generational pattern that has been completely overlooked. And I call it ignorance because we're exploring and considering living on other planets before figuring out how we messed up this one.
Exactly. It's a great, great book in that it helps people become better people. By becoming a better person, you'll become a better parent, and they'll become better parents as well. We can change it. We can make it generational empowerment instead of generational ignorance if we're aware of the past. And that's
Exactly.
for sure.
Exactly. If we're aware of it.
Yeah, and a lot is put on young people. I was a father at 24 years old.
Oh,
You're basically a kid. My kids are 34 years old and still not parents. You know what I mean? So a
yes.
lot is put on young people, an awesome responsibility, the most important responsibility anyone can ever imagine, and that's being a parent. So it's sometimes tough to break out of those patterns, but you do have to be aware, and self-awareness is
Yes, exactly.
definitely the first step.
Yes. And I also want to mention that forgiveness is so important in our healing process, to
Mm,
forgive our parents, because they were not the ones to blame. And if we are parents, forgive ourselves as parents about the mistakes that we have made. And it's the only way to let go of all the guilt, and the guilt that we have about our kids, and the
mm.
resentment that we have for our parents. It's the only way to start our healing process, really.
Exactly. Forgiving someone is a gift to give yourself
Yeah,
because your heart will heal because of it.
yeah,
This
exactly.
book is wonderful. It is written by Gilda Goudarzi. It is called Generational Ignorance, Unveiling the Essence of Being. In it, she integrates her expertise in gestalt therapy and her deep Sufi spiritual insights to help readers towards holistic well-being and generational healing. It's a great book. Shouldn't be missed. Gilda, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate your time. And to the
Thank
folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.